What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Now, a couple of videos ago I told you I had remembered that I have in my possession a Canon AE-1 35mm film camera. I'll be honest, I just kind of put it away. I got it from a lady whose husband had passed, and like I said, I just put it away because I've never shot a 35mm camera. I'm 50 years old, but I've never shot any kind of film camera where you have to control the functions yourself. Now, when I was a kid, I did have like Kodak Instamatics, you know, kind of like this one right here. It had the 4 flash cube on top of it. But even as a teenager, I remember not really liking the process of taking the picture and then nothing. You just kind of move on. I remember not liking the process of having to send the film away and it taking a week to come back. I did get really excited though when they came out with like 1-hour photo processing. That part excited me. Now, I've always really enjoyed new technology and always looking forward to the new thing coming out. Not that there's anything wrong with liking retro stuff, it's just not me. When I was growing up, I was a musician, learning to play guitar, wanting to play in bands, and loved music. Listened to just tons and tons of music. And I, old enough to remember these. I don't like them. I don't listen to them. I do like the artwork. That's one thing I always liked about albums. But I'm not going back to these. Listening to the Beatles on vinyl doesn't excite me at all. Listening to the Beatles on digital excites me. Now, I don't have a cassette to show you, but I was really excited when cassettes kind of overtook record albums. And I cannot tell you how excited I was when CDs overtook cassettes. Now, the be-all end-all is when music transferred over to more of a digital platform, starting with iPods. And actually, I have this. This is a 120 gigabyte Microsoft Zune. And if I could get a battery for this, it has about 12,000 songs on it, but this was amazing. And now we're in the wonderful age of streaming services like Pandora and Spotify. But already I find myself like thinking about and wondering what's going to replace that, and kind of excited about, the future as far as that goes. And I guess in my mind, it's the same with photography. I get kind of excited when the new cameras get released, and I very rarely ever think about going backwards to this kind of technology. But having seen a couple videos recently and now realizing that I actually have this camera, I'm going to give this a shot. And who knows, maybe this will ignite some kind of new passion for me. Now, I'll tell you, a few things that I know I'm going to struggle with is when I'm out taking the photos, not being able to preview it on the back or bring it home and edit it right then and there on the computer. And I'm also probably going to struggle with the wait time of sending it into the photo lab to have it developed and sent back. Right at this point, I can't see myself feeling good about those processes. The first thing I've had to do was watch a bunch of videos because, again, I have no idea how to work all the functions on this. The second thing is I didn't actually know if the thing physically worked or not because the battery that was in it was obviously dead. So I had to order new batteries. So that's going to be step one right here. I'm going to start with putting the battery in and we'll see if it works. This could be a real short video. All right, so like I said, step one is to put the battery in it. Without the battery, when you press the shutter release, nothing happens. You can't move the film advance lever thing, and you can't see the light meter light up on the inside of the viewfinder. So let's see if the battery works. So the battery is a 6-volt Energizer A544. Never seen one, never used one, but that's what it says it takes. Now on the front of the AE-1, there's a little battery compartment here, and I already have one of the batteries out of the packaging. Battery goes in, positive side up, close the door, and let's see what happens. Whoa. Film advance lever thingy works. I can see the light meter on the inside. I guess those are all good signs that hopefully it works. Sounds like I just pulled the trigger on a gun. I gotta admit, that's a little bit satisfying. Alright, now that we got the battery in the camera and at least it sounds like it works, comes the part that really terrifies me, and that's loading it with film. I haven't done this in years. Alright, so the kind of film that was recommended to me for this camera was Fujifilm 200 speed 36 exposure film. Again, it really doesn't mean anything to me, so I just kind of went along with the recommendation and ordered three rolls of this film. So let's try it out. Alright, so on the Canon AE-1, it has a little lever on top of this knob here, which I guess you just pull up and it pops open the back door, and it does. Alright, so I didn't vlog that part. I had to turn the camera off because it was taking me forever, but I think I got it in there. I put it in the little slots and it attached to those little guider pegs or whatever. Now, from what I understand, the video, you take a few shots to advance the film until the number advances there. I'm going to do that. Yep, and there's it's like a red number 1. I don't have my glasses on, so. Alright, I think I'm set. It sounds like the film's advancing and the shutter is definitely firing, and I can see the light meter inside. Alright, so a couple things I want to show you, and a lot of you probably already know this, but this is all new stuff to me. If you can see these little green numbers right here, it's labeled ASA, which I think is what they used to call ISO or ISO back in the old days. So I've adjusted that to 200 to match the speed of film that I have currently in the camera. This dial right here is your shutter speed. So right now it's just set randomly at 1/125. And since this is a manual focus camera, up here on the lens, you have your aperture or your f-stop. And also, since this is a manual focus lens, this is your focus ring up here on the lens. Turning it all the way to the left, you're at infinity, because it has the little infinity symbol there. Not sure if you can see that. Turn it all the way to the right, it goes down to just under 0.6. Alright, so I think I'm ready to take my first shot with the 35mm film lens. And I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous, but I'm nervous. I have the shutter speed set at 1/60th of a second right now. Now looking through the light meter, it's telling me I should be at f2. So I'm going to adjust my aperture to f2. Now I'm going to take a picture of the vlogging camera, so hopefully this comes out and I can show you my first shot. Get it in focus here. I'm not used to working with a manual focus lens either. It's kind of weird. Alright, here goes nothing. Wow. Like I said, it's kind of satisfying, that sound on the camera, the click, and then having to adjust the lever. Still think it's very unsatisfying not being able to see what you took a picture of. Alright, so I think I got this figured out, and I'm going to practice with this roll that's in here first. And then I have 2 other rolls. With one roll, I told Joanna that we're going to take some portraits of her. We'll see how those turn out. And with the third roll, I'm going to take some landscape photos. Here goes nothing. Hey, good morning, everybody. I've come down to my local park today. This is right in the middle of my neighborhood, so it's a place that I'm pretty familiar with, and there's a reason for that. I got the Canon AE-1, and I just want to focus on getting the settings right in the camera. I don't want to have to worry about the composition so much, so I've come to a place that I'm pretty familiar with. I've shot here several times before. I brought a 50mm lens today and a 28mm lens. So I'm gonna wait just till a little bit till it gets light. We're about 15 and 20 minutes away from sunrise now. I'm also gonna be taking a picture with my cell phone. That way I can at least give you something to look at today. Otherwise it's gonna be a little bit of a cliffhanger as we all wait for the film to come back from the photo lab. All right, let me flip you around and show you my composition a little bit here. I'm gonna be shooting right through these trees. Sunrise is gonna be coming up almost straight through there, maybe a little bit to the right there. It's really starting to lighten up. I got about 10 minutes away from sunrise right now. My light meter's reading at about 5.6 right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and start taking some shots. This should be interesting. Let's see what we get. I'm just gonna focus to infinity, I think. Let's see how that looks here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I have my ISO to 200. Or ASA, I think it is on this. And here goes nothing. Oh. Alright, I think I've hit some kind of timer button. Yep, sure enough. Alright, so I figured out that timer issue. It must have just gotten switched over in my bag on the way down here today. Alright, so we're still at 5.6. Got that right. Like I said, I'm at ISO 200 or ASA 200. Now, these aren't going to be award-winning compositions by any means. Just something I'm comfortable with today. And here we go. Forgot to wind the film from the time before. And boom. I still think that's a really satisfying feeling, to that click and the lever, the wind of the film. And I did it. My first reaction was to look at the back of the camera. I knew I was going to do it. That part's going to be hard for me to handle. Again, I'm still really trying to get the feeling of the, I'm not used to where the buttons are. I'm not used to where, dialing in the numbers on the lens. So that part's been a little bit of a struggle so far this morning, but I think I'm getting it. Bam. Just love that sound. All right, I'm gonna move on to my next composition as it starts to get a little bit lighter here. I think I've got some pretty decent shots here, hopefully. And I'm gonna take a picture with my cell phone, put those up on the screen so you can see what I'm really taking a photo of. All right, so my next composition is just a basic, straightforward, right off this bridge, looking over this lake right here. Definitely have sunrise coming up here in a few minutes. I am currently at f4 and 1/125th of a second. All right. All right, I have about 2 more compositions in mind, so let's go, let's move on over there. All right, my next composition is gonna be this bridge. I'm gonna get down a little bit closer to the water, not too close, because I know there are alligators in here. I've seen one. I don't have too many clouds in the sky right now, at least not this direction, but still think it might make for a pretty nice composition. It's kind of darker down here, so I'm gonna decrease my shutter speed just a little bit. That brings my aperture back down to 1.8. Still not quite at sunrise yet. Boom. All right, so I think that's gonna be me done here at this part for the day. I have about 3 different compositions, and I think they all look pretty good. At least, assuming I'm doing the settings right, then hopefully the photos come out great. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I've come to my local Woodland. Some of you might have seen this in a video I did a couple weeks back. Again, just wanted to be familiar with my surroundings, place that I've shot before, not worry so much about the composition and focus on getting the settings right on the camera. So yesterday I only took a 28mm lens and a 50mm lens. Today I've included this Vario-Tessar 75-205. Now it does look like inside, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it looks like there might be a little bit of mold in there. But when I look through the viewfinder, I can't see it. So I'm kind of interested to see when I take the photo, if you're gonna be able to see the mold on it. Maybe it'll just add that little extra touch of vintageness to it. Now, I don't really know anything about this lens. I have a feeling that it's kind of more like a macro type lens. So if anybody knows anything about these vintage lenses, leave me a comment below. But that's how I'm gonna use it today. I'm gonna use it, I have some of these little wildflowers around here, and I got some nice light coming through right now. And I also have this kind of fern tree in the back. I'm gonna really try to focus in on the, just the intimate details of these flowers and these bushes around here. So yeah, these pretty little flowers here. Some are in bloom, some are not. So I'm gonna try to focus in on the ones that are in bloom. See if I can get in real close to them. Oh, and the bokeh on this is, at least through the viewfinder, is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna increase my shutter speed here. See what I get there. All right, that's better. F8. Yeah, the bokeh on this thing is amazing. Wind that film. Come on, man. Oh, wow. I really hope that comes out, because that bokeh on this lens is just absolutely insane. It's just, it looks so great. All right, so behind me, I have this really cool, I don't know if it's a fern tree, but it looks like fern to me. I'm not a botanist by any means. Oh, that looks so good. I really hope this turns out so I can show you. Yeah, again, I don't really know much about this lens, but it's absolutely fantastic. So I may be shooting more of this this Canon AE-1 with this lens. This is absolutely, the bokeh is just crazy on it. I love it. Okay, so that's about 3 different compositions from this park, and I've only got a couple shots left, so I'm going to use those up. And I guess the next step is to be finding a place to send this film off to be processed. From what I've looked around a little bit already, it looks like it's going to be about 7 to 10 days. I don't know if that's business days or actual days, but either way, I'm probably going to have to put the second part where I get the photos back and review those in a different vlog. I'm really hoping that I got the settings right and some of these photos come out, because I'm really happy, especially today, with some of the really up-close macro type compositions that I had. And yeah, I really want to be able to show you something good. All right, so I want to thank you all very much for tuning in today. I know it went a little bit long. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. I hope it gave you a good laugh, but I've really enjoyed using this new camera. Again, I don't think this is something I'm going to be switching to full time. There's just too much waiting involved. I need a little bit more of that instant gratification, I guess. So yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in today. I really appreciate your time as always. And if you're new to my channel and you're viewing for the first time today, hopefully you liked what you saw. And if you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you know some friends who might like this, share it with them. Tell them you found this really awesome guy, really awesome photographer. You know, it's okay to tell a little white lie every once in a while. Thank you guys again. Have a great week. Stay safe, take care of each other, protect each other, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.